What? What? Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Liverpool. If you've been enjoying the series up to this point, drop a like. That would be most spectacular. So, last episode, I think it went fairly well. I give it an 8 out of 10 because we got some league wins in there. We looked pretty damn good in all the games we played. Brentford was a bit of a blip for me. I'm not particularly worried about it because I feel like it's one of those things where on another day, we probably win that game very comfortably, but it happens sometimes. It was a slightly weakened side in some places, but it does show that, without that real cutting edge from some of our key players like a Salah, it can struggle for us from time to time. That said, though, Mane had some chances in that game and he just could not quite do it. But hey, that happens from time to time. Now, since we've got data available to us today, I figured we'd have a tiny quick look at how we've been doing team-wise. To start with, really, because it's quite important to keep an eye on these sort of things throughout the season, I'd say. There are some things that I expect us to be good at, some that I expect us to not be quite so good at, so I'm just going to sort of highlight a few of those things right now. Really important for me, firstly, is the fact that our shooting is basically off the charts. It's us and United are shooting very, very aggressive shooting, but also, like, clinical as well, so we're taking our chances, excluding the Brentford game. That's a good sign. We're right. That's where we have to be, really. And I want to be there for shooting and here for defending, which is essentially where we are. We're a pretty quiet defence. We don't really concede a lot of shots per game, as you can see. We're right at the lowest with Manchester City. Wolves are a bit of an outlier where they actually do concede quite a lot of shots per game, upwards of 12 here, nearly double ours. But their opposition conversion rate is absolutely ludicrous. Opposition are only converting like less than 3% of the chances at the moment. And that suggests to me that potentially Wolves might be a team that could end up dropping away because they're conceding too many shots but over a short target span. You'd expect that to sort of slide back across a little bit as the season goes. But that could still set them up for a good year, just perhaps not quite as good as it's showing right now. XG league table as well. I think it's always something to keep an eye on right now. Now, Chelsea are technically top, but they have played more games than us and have the same expected points over that period. We are actually pretty much bang on where we should be. That's really all you can say right now. We're literally dead on our expected goals. United are expected a few more than us right now, so they're definitely looking quite good. Both us and United have got huge attacking output. A few areas here where it might look like we're struggling slightly, but I think the thing is, when it comes to things like tackling, because we tend to be we take our chances. We don't tend to have to make those tackles as often, but it shows that when we are making tackles, we're at least winning them, which is the main thing. Same kind of thing goes for the aerials. We're not having to win that much stuff in the air, but when we are, we're actually winning it. And that's very much played out in the overall team defending stats here, when you can see that the overall output defensively is pretty damn solid. We're not conceding many fouls per game, we're not conceding many goals, nor expected goals. And you can see that we're kind of bang on our expected defense situation here, but we are intercepting a lot, which is, I think, the reason why we're not having to tackle as much, because we're not needing to. We're cutting the ball out before it even gets to the player, and that's fine. Passing, we're right about slap bang on the middle, which again makes sense to me because we're not playing a short passing style. I'm encouraging them to play those long balls from time to time, and obviously the longer a pass is, statistically, the more likely it is to be inaccurate, so not entirely fussed by that too. Be worried if we were sort of up here where we're making lots of passes but spraying them about to nobody. That's concerning. Slap bang in the middle is fine. And attacking efficiency, again, in the right quadrant for me. So although it's early days, still very happy with that. Keita's back and available. Salah is still a little bit worse for wear. So again, I don't think I'd really want to start. I don't know if I can start him, or it might be a case of start him and then bring him off this time around. Henderson's back, but lacks a bit of match sharpness. And Minamino, kind of a similar situation. Bobby Firmino, not chancing yet. So it looks like it's going to be Origi again. As United have just smashed Ajax 5-0. Ronaldo seems to... How many goals has he got this season already? He's got 12 goals in 5 matches. I might actually do a selection advice and then make some changes based around that myself here. So, Milner and Thiago. I really, really like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at the moment, and I think I'd rather have him in this role than Thiago for now. However, I did say that I was going to put Thiago in the Carriero role for today. Salah will start this one, but we'll bring him off if we need to. We should need to, I sense, at some point in this game. The whole point of what we did in the last game was to allow him to start here, so I feel like it'd be weird if we didn't. But the bench should be strong enough that we've got options there if we need them. Minamino's nearly available again. Firmino is on the bench, but that's just because I think we need to fill a bench. Players are slowly coming back to fitness now, which is good. And Keita's back too, ideally. It's useful because it gives us an option that he can play in any of these positions, really. So, similar system to what Brentford played. I noticed that Inter have Denzel Dumfries. Now, I don't know if that's a real-life transfer or one they've made during this save or not, but either way, it was like £12 million, which is a bargain for someone like Denzel Dumfries. I'd say arguably this is the toughest game we have in our group. It's away at Inter. That is really the toughest game we're going to have. Although Porto won't be easy by any means, but you feel like, Inter versus Porto, you think that Inter would be the stronger of the two. So I think if we come away with this, if we don't lose here in Italy, I would consider that a strong performance from us. But we'll see. Again, it's all about how we play in the game. Like, if we scrape a 0-0 draw and look like crap, then I'll be worried. But, if we were to take a 1-1 draw or something and look amazing, I'd be like, okay, it's fine. Plus, with having both Salah and Mane available for this game, even if it's sort of like a 75% of Mo Salah, then I'm still pretty content with that he will be able to come up with some stuff, as he did basically bail us out against Brentford as well with that lovely piece of play the moment he'd come onto the pitch. Brozovic, that's a good ball, and Vidal making the run from midfield. We need to get across him, and he has. Well, Becker makes the save. Becker? Alisson. I want a team like Inter to test us so we can see where perhaps there could be some holes for us. There's a chance for Inter here, and it's well saved on the line. It's those central passes, looking for those late runners from midfield. That does seem to be a gap for us potentially. Lautaro Martinez, Brozovic, Skriniar. We're definitely going to have to look to try to prevent those runs. It's the kind of runs that we make, actually. Dumfries, Barella. Oh, don't let him turn. Good save from Alisson again. Wow, strong start from Inter. Trying to find some space out there as well. Salah now. Clips it to the edge of the box. Well, no, it's going to come to Andy Robertson instead. That's fine. We've got some men in there. Whips it all the way through, and it's clattered away. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain back out to Andy Robertson. We're really upping the passing directness here as Origi with a chance there. Okay, Robertson to clatter one in. It's cleared away again, but it's going to come back from Matip and Origi, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with the goal. Inter 0, Liverpool 1. An absolute clatterer from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He did that a couple of times in pre-season, and that is an absolute stunning strike. We've had to sort of force the ball in there a little bit. There's a bit of a melee in the box. One shot here from Matip, another one from Origi, and look at this on the full volley from the Ox with an absolute thunder bastard. Brilliant start here. But still, we're given as good as we're getting at the moment. I don't think this game is going to finish 1-0 to us somehow, as Vidal's making another good run through and a good save again from Alisson. They're shooting from distance, I suppose, at least. But I do wonder if actually trying to force Inter wider might be a plan for us today, because they're getting a lot more joy through the centre of our midfield and the centre of our defence. Just try to clog this middle area across the edge of our penalty area to stop them from playing those passes. See what kind of an effect it has. Obviously, it will provide space out wide for crosses, but we've got decent players in the air to try and defend them. Yes, it's... Oh, Lautaro Martinez is through again, and it's off the bar this time. Half an hour on the clock, and it's... since we went in front again, we had a good spell and we scored on it, but it's been back to being all Inter at the moment. Having to force them wide here. I mean, they can still get benefits from this, but at least just not allowing them too much space in the centre of the pitch is certainly something we want to do, as Denzel Dumfries is. They're a good team. Ball in. It's going to go a long way through, and Lautaro Martinez, it should be straightforward for Alisson, yeah. I might actually just get Alisson to slow it down a bit. He's distributing a little bit too quickly, and we're not really getting many counter-attacking opportunities from it. I'm concerned that we're going to give the ball back to Inter too quickly, and this will allow us to get a bit more possession, maybe when Alisson does have the ball. Could he slip it down the side, maybe? Right on the stroke of half-time, whips it in, and Origi's header is over the bar. It's the first thing we've seen from us since the goal. Half-time, you can see that we barely did anything after going in front, and Inter have been solid. They've had a decent number of shots, but they haven't actually created that many high-quality chances with it so far. But, you know, statistically, they probably should still have a goal by now. I think Salah off around about 55 minutes, probably, unless we do something magical here, because I just don't think he's quite been at it today. And maybe it is because he's had, you know, he's a bit tired. Alexander-Arnold's been poor today as well. But I really don't know, other than Joe Gomez, who we'd really bring into that position right now. Bit more space for Trent. Oh, it's a nice little ball around the side for Salah. Oh, it's blocked. Mane can still keep it in play, and it's offside. Perisic flying down this left. Alexander-Arnold with a great tackle. What? 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 Just two-footed lunge? All right. Didn't look like that to me, and it actually looked like he got the ball. Not that that would matter if it was a two-footed lunge, but it didn't look like it was a two-footed lunge. Oh, he was having a terrible game, and it's just made that little bit worse, hasn't it? Right, well, Fabinho's going to come to here for the moment, and what I'm thinking is we turn Thiago into a ball-winning midfielder on defend and then replace him with Naby Keita, and also get Salah off for Harvey Elliott in this particular case, and save our final sub. This game just got that little bit harder. If we get out of here with anything other than a defeat, I'd be incredibly surprised, but we've got to just go for it. Oh, Mane! Oh, pulls it back. Oxlade-Chamberlain! Oh, that was a chance. Mane could have maybe taken it on himself. It's a good effort, but hopefully he'll just shoot again here and not... Oh, good lord, Sadio Mane. He's flying inside our own penalty area there, Skriniar. Hopefully this is just a block shot. Oh, good save, Alisson. Hakan Çalhanoğlu. And, whoa, great stop again from Alisson. Vidal, over the bar this time. How are we not winning? How are we not losing this game? He has to do better with that pass. That out ball needs to be perfect from Van Dijk there, because there will be spaces otherwise. And it's a good touch. Çalhanoğlu's through, and it's 1-1. Ah, first goal of the season from him. 10 minutes to go, and we have finally crumbled. I don't think we can complain about it. Like, we were down to 10 men. Inter have probably been the better side on the night here, and us to be even in front at that point. Oh, what could we have just nicked it at some point during this play? It's a nice piece of play. Nobody tracks the run from Çalhanoğlu, and it's a poor tackle from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but I'm going to turn Origi to an advanced forward for a bit, just so that if there is occasionally a ball that could be hitting behind, maybe he could actually make a run and latch onto it. Maybe he can hit them on the counter a bit more. Origi gets a nice opportunity to pass that into Minamino, but he doesn't take it. Now he does, but Minamino just done nothing with it. Oh, they just keep coming now. We are up against it. A great tackle from Harvey Elliott. Inter really are pushing high up on us now. They know what we've got. And it's a good ball through for Çalhanoğlu again, and this time he's offside, I think, but it might be given, you know. Oh! I'm so used to them being disallowed, I just assumed. Honestly, it didn't look offside to me at first glance. He's not even close to offside. Well, it looks like it's going to be Inter 2, Liverpool 1. Trent has done us zero favours in this game. We weren't playing fantastically well until even before the red card, but we were at least able to sort of hold our own defensively for the most part. But Inter have been cutting through us like a knife through butter for a lot of this second period. There's very little we've been able to do about it, as they nearly grab a third goal, and they would have been good value for it as well. The red card is the last thing we needed there. Is D'Ambrosio now for Inter potentially. Back post for Dzeko. Please don't let them have another one. We've already played more than we should have done in this game. Sensi, look at the space. And Brozovic drills it over, and that will surely do it. He's offside anyway. And it is going to be 2-1 to Inter in the end. Disappointing. Maybe it's a different... I mean, we've had a whole half of the game with 10 men. You can see it wasn't even, but it was still kind of much of a muchness up until this point, really. And even after a little spell of 10 men, we were still in this game, but then they just pushed on through us towards the end of the second half, and there's nothing we could do about it. Disappointing. Trent, you're going to have to take a long, hard look at yourself, buddy, because that is not acceptable. Although I still feel a little bit hard done by, because it didn't look like that bad of a challenge, honestly. Maybe I just missed the animation. You can see from the match momentum that we had our little moments in this game, particularly when we actually scored. That was our nice spell of play. But the rest of this match, really, after a little spell at the start of the second half, we just couldn't handle them. The game's like, Trent Alexander-Arnold, praise form. No, not after that I won't. Okay, so I don't know who's actually going to be available for this game. It seems that Salah will probably be good enough to start this one, because he'll get a rest in the next game. And, oh, thank goodness for that. United dropped points at Brentford. Ronaldo scored again. That's 9 in the league now. City also lose to Norwich, as Wolves have gone 5 for 5. Well, I'll be damned. Okay, so we have an opportunity here, if we beat Arsenal, to go back into second spot and go above Manchester United, which is the main thing. Wolves, I do feel like, will fall away at some point, although they have won 5 out of 5, so credit to them for that. Chelsea's still sort of hanging in there, but everyone still has games in hand on them as they slide down the table a bit more. Changes. I might again do a selection advice, just so we can see who's available. You can see that there's an element of tiredness creeping into the squad, which is not in any way surprising. Jordan Henderson. Firmino back. Do I really want to play all of these guys at once? Salah can do 75 minutes, which is fine. Henderson at 45 minutes. I don't think I want to start Henderson on 45 minutes. We could start Thiago there. What's he like as a box-to-box? He just lacks that pace. Naby Keita could possibly do it, though. It's not my first choice option there, but unfortunately, I think Oxlade-Chamberlain just needs a little bit of a rest. I will still put him on the bench, though, potentially, instead of Henderson. I might be tempted to start Henderson against Saints in the Cup with some of the kids, just to give him a run out. Okay, then. We kind of need a bit of a bounce back here after the Brentford struggliness, and then obviously the disappointment against Inter. This is still a game that we should, in theory, be winning. It's a home game. Arsenal do have some great players, but we will see how they actually play together. I just kind of want us to get a win on the cards. Otherwise, it's suddenly 3 without a win, and it just starts to worry you a little bit. But hopefully, if we can get Mane and Salah back and firing and fresh and ready to go, they'll all have a little rest in the midweek against Southampton, so they'll have a full week off and raring to go in the next game after that, which I think is actually against Chelsea as it happens. So, yeah. I think Van Dijk might actually be our top scorer at the moment. We just got the goals are spread out so much amongst the rest of the players, currently anyway. Salah to the byline, maybe. Pulls it back for Keita. Pulls it across for Firmino. Couldn't turn, but Salah can get the shot. Tries to lump it to Mane, who might... No, can't bring it out the air. That was poor. And now that could end up costing us as well as Aubameyang's throw, and it's a good save from Alisson. I just don't know why he didn't just distribute it to the centre-backs. I think Firmino might have hurt himself again. That was a bad choice putting him in, maybe, but I guess it kind of almost had to be done at that point. We'll see. I don't know how Salah lost the ball in that particular position, but he did. Cleared again. Mane brings it away. Gabriel with the long ball, and again Aubameyang's breaking in behind here. He's probably going to be able to get through here, and he's missed the target. Okay, Arsenal going for the long balls. Alexander-Arnold, but at least we're maintaining patience in possession at the moment. Lovely ball through Mane! Oh, Sadio, great piece of play. Again, needed a better finish. We're getting the chances for Mane at the moment, but he's just not finishing them. Oh, wow, it's come to Saka, and this is surely 1-0 to Arsenal, and it is. We can't finish, but Arsenal can, and it's Bukayo Saka's first goal of the season. That is the last thing we needed. Sadio Mane, in the last couple of league games, he's really struggled in front of goal. He's been in the position to take some great chances and has just missed them. Salah hasn't really had a sniff, but they all get committed. And Aubameyang, incredibly, I don't even know what happens there. I think Alexander-Arnold gets sucked in and wins the header, but then flicks it straight to Saka. Short run, the side for Keita now. Can he shot? Right, Van Dijk. Robertson, he's very narrow here. So it's to Milner. Can he pull it across for someone? Origi. And Salah! is on the end of it, and that looked to me like that's going to be given. I think he was onside there. It very, very is likely to be given there, I'd say. They're all trotting back to the halfway line there, so I'd say that is very likely to be awarded there. And it is! It's Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0, Mo Salah getting the goal. Nice build-up there. Once we get the ball into their box, and we're showing a lot of patience, it's a lovely pick out from Origi here to spin and slot it into the channel, and there's Salah, pokes it home, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. I think we deserve... Not Arsenal 0, Arsenal 1. I think we deserve that. Oh, nice little pop. Ball in. Oh, and Salah nearly directs a header in. Up and well won again by Matip. Okay, now we're getting into them a bit more. Mane, it's a bit too deep for him, but he can still keep it in play. Whips it through, and Origi's header! It's in the back of the net, and literally in the space of a few minutes before half-time, it's Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1. Divock Origi with an assist and a goal on the night, coming off the bench to replace Firmino midway through the first half. But yeah, we've just picked it up. We're getting in there, making those interceptions again. There seems to be a way more momentum swinging back towards Liverpool. It's a great ball in from Mane. Origi's unmarked. Ramsdale gets a touch, but it's not enough, and it's 2-1 Liverpool. Come on. It's a very, very even game, I'd say. But yeah, falling behind in the 37th minute to be winning by half-time, very surprising. This has certainly not been us at our free-flowing best, but sometimes, Arsenal are not a bad side. And we are having to work for it here, but we're making the chances now, or making the goals. Hopefully now, we can take that intensity into the second half a bit more, and that's a good piece of play. And hopefully grab a third goal here while we're still in the momentum swinging stage. That's better. Nice build-up. So what about that from a touch? But his average rating in this game has gone through the roof since the start of the second period. They're giving him a lot more room, it would seem. Can he put a ball through for Origi, maybe? Can he receive a return pass? We're just waiting for that crucial pass here, aren't we? Oh, here it comes. It's Naby Keita, and it's a good save from Ramsdale. Nice build-up again for 25 minutes here. Just to freshen it up a little bit as Keita goes down. That could well be a penalty. I don't know if he touched the ball or not, but this is a big, big moment for us. With James Milner on the pitch as well. Come on, give it to me. Penalty awarded. That's huge. And of course, it's not James Milner, is it? It's Mo Salah from the spot with a chance to maybe start to put one foot on that 3 points. Mo Salah for his second goal of the game steps up and smashes it home. Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1. I think we've done well to turn this one around because it was looking a bit shaky in moments during that first half, but for whatever reason, towards the end of that first half, Arsenal just seemed to tire, and we just found an extra gear to go through. And in the second half, we haven't really let up, and it's 3-1 now. Very, very good news indeed. Whips it in, and Mane's there. It's not a bad header. I say this was our first sort of league test, and I mean, Arsenal are certainly not going to be challenging at the very top of the league, but they're still a team that could give you a bit of a bad day from time to time. As Origi nearly drills a fourth one in for us. Yeah, we've just got better and better as the game's worn on. 4 Premier League wins out of 5, and I think we've been the better side in every single game so far, so that's a good sign for us. At least domestically, we're looking like the title is very much on the cards for us this season, particularly with other teams dropping points at the moment, which we are simply not by the same numbers. Europe's a bit disappointed, but hopefully we can bounce back with the home game. That was the most difficult game in the group after all, and it wasn't made any easier by Trent's silliness, was it now? Ball over the top for Naby Keita. Can't quite get on the end of it, and it looks like it is going to be final score. Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1. Mo Salah will probably be man of the match, and so very much deserving of that. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Arsenal had such a good first half, and that pushes us back into second place in the league with United dropping points. We've got the best goal difference in there too. 5 points clear now into the Champions League spots. Chelsea still have played one more game than us, and we have 6 points on them already. Firmino, only a minor injury, thank goodness, but Origi, stunning performance off the bench. Really good. 5 key passes as well. I would show you more of the team detailed stats here, but every time I go into this menu, it makes the game chug to the point where it is actually unplayable for 5 minutes. So that's annoying. I don't know if that's it's obviously a bug. It better not be like that in the full release. But yeah, so these menus are unusable basically. So I personally am not clicking them, and I would advise you maybe not to either if you don't want your game to sort of shut down basically. Didn't crash. It would just essentially freeze for ages and then never actually load the menus. So weird one. And an even better news for us. Spurs and Chelsea drew. Okay, so Carabao Cup, Southampton away from home. This is the one I said I was going to sort of rotate this squad around a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do is ask for a youth prospect one. Let me just add a few more of these guys in, because I do want to be able to give these guys a chance here, and then I'll change it around myself, honestly. Okay, so defensively, that's a decent set of youth prospects. Fine with that. Elliott and Jones, cool. Maybe we do need, honestly, a bit of sort of, what's the word looking for? Experience in the centre of midfield. Firmino, do I really want to start Firmino through the middle in this game? I just don't think I do. I think I'd honestly rather put Origi through the middle in this one. It'd be annoying to go out, but I wouldn't mind if we did, just because it's an opportunity for... The board don't care about the cup. I want to give some of the youngsters a chance. And if we do go through, it's excellent because it's match experience for them and it still progresses us. Next episode, by the way, is shaping up to be an absolute cracker because as far as I can tell from when I looked at the schedule, it's United, Chelsea, and Porto. Porto in the middle of the two. So it's 3 absolutely massive games. We just got a chance to have a little bit of a break here. Enjoy a bit of Carabao Cup madness. He says as he sips on a giant can of Monster. I'm not repping the brand. This is a Monster House. It's not really. I got this on the way to Brands Hatch on Saturday, and on Sunday, and I haven't drunk it yet. As Origi's already in behind. Can he make it 1-0 early days? He probably should have done. I'd like to see if the sort of understudies, if you like, are capable of coming up with a good performance here, because it would show that everybody's buying into the system and the style of play. I'm also very glad that we've managed to turn that one around against Arsenal, because I was worried that we were going to lose that. And then, Nat Phillips with a great header. Well saved by Ben Foster. But, not Ben Foster, that's Fraser Forster, Matt. Close enough. But if we'd have lost that to Arsenal, I don't know. The worries would have started to creep in there about stuff, but getting that win is super important. So it is a big ask, because when you actually look at this Southampton lineup, it's a very, very strong one, and Taylor is through. That was close. That was very, very close. But at 0-0 at half-time, we probably just edged it, but not by much. I don't think there's been a single shot in this second half yet for either side. It's been tepid, I say. You would not drink your tea at this temperature, let's put it that way. But we do have a highlight now. Maybe something could happen. Hopefully it's not against us, though. Ward-Prowse, there's a bit of space in the middle for Saints here. I've had to take off Kanate, and it's not ideal as Broha is through, and it's well saved by Kelleher. Salisu's ball up, and Teo will flick this on, easily plucked out there by Kelleher. We go straight to pens. Well, we tired as the game went on, and that's kind of what you get from it, I suppose. From penalties. Hey, if we sneak through on pens, then we sneak through on pens. If we go out on pens, then it sucks, but it happens. I have a horrible feeling this is going to be a long shootout, so bear with. Origi from the spot. Please don't miss the first one, Divock. Good pen. Ward-Prowse now. I mean, if there's anyone that's going to score a pen, it's James Ward-Prowse. What a penalty. Harvey Elliott, the youngster. Not had the best game out there. Hopefully he can convert. What a pen. It's Stevens for Southampton. I have a few Southampton supporting friends. They're not the biggest fans of Stevens, but they'll be fans of that, because that is a very solid penalty. Who's taking our final pen? It's Jordan Henderson. He's not had the best game at all, but it'd be nice if he could slot this one home for us. I feel like if there's someone we can trust for something like this, it's Jordan Henderson. Can he step up and at least send us further along? And he does. 5 penalties, 5 goals. Salisu now for Saints. We've had 10 consecutive penalties scored, and it's 11 now. Do not screw this up, Minamino. We want another penalty, and it's a great pen. It's Walker-Peters now for Southampton, and it's another 13 consecutive penalties. Generally at centre-back. Come on, Joe. Do it for us. Keep us in this hunt. It's such a poor penalty. It's such a very, very poor penalty. And we've gone out 0-0 on pens. Well, we wanted the first-team experience for the youngsters, and, well, they got it. Deary me. Couldn't we have had Bristol Rovers or something? EFL Cup. Not important. Failed. How can I fail an objective that you don't care about? If you don't set an objective, how can we fail it? Weird times. So the last couple of I think maybe looks a bit worse than it is. I think we should have beaten Brentford, and I think against Inter, maybe if we don't get the red card, things are a little bit different. Bounce back nicely against Arsenal, played the kids against Saints, but next episode things get very spicy, because it's 3 away trips to Chelsea, over to Portugal, and then to Manchester for the derby. This is going to be extremely tough, but if we come through that in a good spot, I think we're really going to be setting ourselves up for a nice run of fixtures after that. You'll see Villa, Kiev, Wolves, Brighton, Kiev, Watford, West Ham before we have to play Inter, and then there's still Norwich, Leeds, and then Spurs. So there's a good run available on the end of that if you come through in a good spot. So if you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like. That'll be phenomenal. If you're new to the channel, subscribe back to stream on Twitch, Saturdays and pay for the moment, and then treat United on the main game. See you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Hold your gun.
I can be a fighter if you want.